you're in your 20s and 30s, life is really only just beginning. It's supposed to be a time of complete excitement. However, your life could actually feel quite directionless, and you could have an overwhelming feeling of being lost. If you feel this way, you may well be in a quarter-life crisis. A quarter-life crisis is when everything in life just feels wrong, out of balance, and just not how it's supposed to be. This is actually a very common feeling to have, because when we're in our 20s especially, we are pressured to just do it all and have it all, to have fun, but to also at some point settle down with the love of your life, to have your finance in check, to start your high-powered career, to do absolutely everything to get your life on track right now. The push to just be successful in practically every area, it's no wonder that we feel this way and that a lot of us do go through a quarter-life crisis, but it's not really our fault to why we feel this way. The media and movies and TV series have definitely contributed to the way that we feel. We are constantly bombarded with our 20s and our 30s being the time of our lives, and the time that we, set our lives up for success. And we see it all the time in the media. We are absolutely bombarded with it. But what we forget to remember is that we're all so very different. We are not all the same. We come from very different circumstances, with very different ambitions, and we have outside external factors that control the way that we feel, and this can be our parents, to our friends, to our family, to anyone really within our life can influence the way that we feel and can contribute to us feeling this sense of overwhelming dread and fear and just generally being scared about our 20s and the way that our life is going, which puts us into that quarter-life crisis. A quarter-life crisis can actually be quite detrimental to you, because with those feelings of being stagnant in your pathway in life, depression comes and fear comes. If something doesn't go the way that we expected or how we planned, then these feelings tend to just start stacking up quite quickly as well. So how can we progress past this when the whole idea of a quarter-life crisis makes everything seem so impossible? Something that you really need to do to help you in this phase of life is to prioritize your self-care. Monitor the way that you're speaking to yourself, because at this time within a quarter-life crisis, you may be speaking to yourself with a bit of anger, with frustration, looking at yourself like you're nothing, that you can't do anything, but that is so untrue. You are worthy of greatness, of opportunities, and all of the brilliance that life can bring. Just because life feels stagnant and unchangeable right now doesn't mean that it will be forever. Life always moves, and life is made up of many, many phases. This is just one of those small phases, a drop in the water of your life, and this phase will pass. Comparison is the thief of joy, and I often feel like quite a hypocrite talking about comparison, because I feel like I do it quite a lot, something that I'm certainly working on. And I've talked again about how in this era it's very hard not to compare yourself, and especially when you're feeling this way within a quarter-life crisis in your 20s, you're using other people as measurements, somewhat as a bit of guidance to see what you should be doing right now, but then it also becomes quite malicious to yourself, because you're pressurizing yourself. You're telling yourself, I should be buying this house, I should be starting a family, I should be getting married, I should be in a good relationship, I should be in a high-powered career. You're looking at what everyone else is doing, usually on a highlight reel, and everyone is on their own unique pathways. We've got to remember this. No two lives are the same. We are completely unique in our ambitions and who we are. That is what makes being human so great. And a key thing to remember is that no one is better than you. No one is better than anyone else just because of the place that they're in right now in life. Something else that you should really do is set realistic and small goals. Having big, grand goals is really good. You want to have these big dreams, but when you're in this situation in a quarter life crisis, it's not good to kind of be constantly looking and pressurizing yourself again with these big goals and dreams. You need to make it a little bit smaller for yourself to put those steps into place to get to where you want to be. These big goals will actually do the opposite. They will unmotivate you because at the minute they seem completely unattainable. So why try? You know what I mean? That's kind of the mentality that you will have because of the way that you're feeling right now. So instead, create those small, achievable goals to get to where you want to be. So for example, if you want to move house in the next few years, then start with a budgeting plan. Start with a plan for each month. If you want to get married or meet someone soon, then start going to social activities and take up some new hobbies to actually meet people who have the same interests as you. So starting small is going to be really helpful for you to get to those bigger goals. The last thing to understand is that uncertainty is what makes life. In our lives, we have so many peaks and troughs. It'll often feel like we're on a roller coaster going up and down. Sometimes it's a smooth ride and other times it will feel like we're clinging on for dear life. In these times, we kind of just have to go with the flow of what's happening around us. Some things we can't control, some things we can't change, and that's okay. In fact, that's good. The uncertainty and uniqueness of life and the fact that we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow is what makes life special. Overall, your quarter life crisis could actually be a sign of opportunity because you're questioning your life and what's happening around you is actually you evolving through this. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and I hope that you found something beneficial from at least some of this maybe. Quarter life crisis is rough. I have been going through one kind of recently, which is what has kind of made me want to create this video for all of you who are probably going through the same thing. Being in your 20s and your 30s is quite a rough time. I mean, I'm going to say specifically your 20s because that's the era, the part of life that I'm in right now. And it's a tough time. It's hard to, make that transition from adolescence to adulthood, and it's not usually quite seamless. It's usually quite a bumpy ride, but we're all in it together and I hope that this has helped. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!